Hi and welcome back. Today I want to take you on an exterior video tour of our 2018 Renegade Verona LE LRV. That's kind of a mouthful to say, but when we break it down, what we're talking about is this is a Renegade Verona LE. And what the LE means is Renegade's taken their very popular Verona line and added quite a few more standard options that are not available in a normal Verona. Some of the things that they've done on the LE are really evident when we do the interior video shoot, and I want to invite you to go ahead and take time to watch that. But for this video, we're going to really focus on the exterior portion of this motor coach. As you can see, Renegade's done a beautiful job with the paint on this. The LE is available in 3 different paint schemes. This color right here tends to be one of our more popular colors. It's just really good looking motorhome without being overstated. It's kind of more of a subtler paint job, as you can see. You'll also notice that as the stripes come down, Renegade's done a full body paint on the interior of the slides, so your coach will look just as good with the slides out as it does with the slides in. Now we're going to move over and go through the storage compartments on the driver's side or the street side of this coach. As you can see, in the first compartment is where the batteries are housed. On the Verona LE, it comes standard with 2 8D batteries, which I think is just a really great standard feature now. I use 8D batteries in my own personal coach. As we move back into the next storage compartment, you'll see this is where the inverter is housed. What I've always liked about them is they make things accessible, and I think that comes from their big racing heritage, building motorhomes for the racing market. You have people that kind of demand the accessibility to equipment to try to make things easy to work on. In the event you ever have to change the inverter, it's really easy to reach in here and get some work done on it. You also notice this coach has an auto generator start button, so you can program the generator to start remotely. We have a great advantage package when you buy a motorhome from us. We're going to give you a private iPad, and we're going to exclusively load videos to show you how to use all of these items. Now we're going to move over into the water waste compartments, and this is where the gray and black water are stored. One thing that's really nice to point out on a Verona LE is that this thing has 150 gallons of fresh water under the bed, and it also has 75-gallon holding tanks for the gray water and the black water. And they also have heat strips on them, so you can use this coach when it's cold outside. Now we're going to move over into the water management bay. And this is where all the controls are housed. And this is something that we really like to draw people's attention to, because a lot of people out there are buying, I don't know how to say it, more price sensitive Class A's or Class C motorhomes. And what you really don't understand is there's so much more to a motorhome than just what meets the eye. And I kind of want to show you some things in here. So the first thing I want you to notice is that the compartments have lights. So that's something when you're at night, you're trying to do a water hookup or a sewer hookup, it's really nice to have lights in the compartment. Another thing you'll notice is that the door on this is double wall thickness, and it's an insulated door, which really helps out. You'll also notice this door, there's a wire going into it, so this cabinet can be remote controlled locked with just the push of an electrical button. All great features. You'll also notice there's a gas strut on the top of the door, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's very annoying if you don't have that and the wind's blowing the door shut on you all the time. So it's hard to see in the video, but where it says Renegade and all the words are wrote out, that's a solid piece of aluminum paneling, and they've laser cut out the lettering. So, as years and years go by, you'll still be able to read it. It's not a label that's going to rub off or wear out, or it's not painted on. It's actually laser cut into the material, so that's another feature. You'll also notice in the upper right here, there's a little thermostat right there. And what Renegade's done is they've installed an Aqua heat register inside that sewage compartment, and you can vary the heat there, so you can really use this as an all-weather coach because there's a heat register in there that puts off radiant heat into that compartment and keeps it warm. It's just something that I think gets overlooked when you're looking at buying a more of a luxury motorhome. Now as we move here in the back, you're going to see the Cummins Onan 8 kW generator, and on my personal coach, I've requested a Cummins Onan generator in it, and Renegade uses them as their standard equipment. We just think it's a fantastic engine choice. You know, these things are designed to run for hours, thousands of hours. In fact, when you read the operations manual, they tell you it's better to run the generator for 2 hours than it is for 20 minutes. These are absolute workhorse generators, and I think you should be putting hundreds, if not thousands of hours on this generator and utilizing it to its full potential. Now as we move into the back compartment, you're going to see we have a retractable shore power reel, which is just an incredible feature that I don't think any motorhome should be without. It's so nice when it's time to move locations to just get up in the morning, unplug from the outlet, push the button, and wind the reel in. It also has a power unwind feature that you should be using too. We just pulled it out manually to show you in the video. Renegade's also installed a 110 power outlet back there, so if you need to run a battery charger to charge your tow vehicle, or you need to run a power drill or something, you've got power at the back of the coach. And I think it's just very well thought out. Now we're going to move to the back of the coach, and I think, you know, this is a portion of a motorhome that gets often overlooked, especially when it comes to towing and tow capacity. You're going to see here that Renegade's installed the Voyager bulkhead connector. And what that is, that's a camera outlet. So if you buy an ATC trailer from us, we can install a camera on the back of the trailer, and then you would just plug it in here, and you can also plug in your tow lights right next to it. So what'll happen is when you back up, you can have an image, a backup camera on the back of the trailer, and you can also have one on the back of the motorhome. Now as we move over to the towing portion of this, you'll see that this RV is equipped with a Super Titan 12,000 pound ball mount, and it has a 2 5/16 ball and a 2-inch ball. So 12,000 pounds is just an incredible amount of towing capacity. Another thing to point out as you look at the back of this cap is Renegade's done, I just think, a beautiful job of making this coach look very elegant in their fiberglass cap. You can see everything just flows very nice. There's nice LED lights up at the top. There you can see the backup camera that we have pointed down quite a bit so you can see to align your trailer hitch. Another thing that I really want to point out is, you know, Renegade's utilitarian design in building these motorhomes. While they're pretty elegant looking, or very elegant, there's a lot of parts that are very simple in design, and one of them is the tail lights. They don't use a real super elaborate tail light housing. They stick with a basic truck light that you can buy at any truck stop or any Napa Auto Parts store. So if you're out on the road and you happen to have a light go out on the back, you can just go in there and get a light, and they're easy to change out in the parking lot. And that's something that's very appealing to me, and it resonates well with our customers. Now we're going to move down through the passenger side compartments. Here you're going to see the central vacuum system, and this is where it's located down in this compartment. Another neat thing to point out about it is not only do you have central vac inside the motorhome, but you also have a hose kit that you can attach right here. Run a vacuum out to vacuum out your vehicle. It's just a really nice feature on this coach. You'll also see in the other compartment here, we've got an additional 110 outlet in it, just in case you want to power something. Lots of storage as we go down this side of the coach. Now we're going to talk about the Aqua hydronic heating system in this coach. And for those of you that aren't sure what an Aqua is, I'd like to take a moment here to try to explain it the best I can. So what it amounts to is there's a diesel-fired boiler inside of this white box. And this boiler can either be run on diesel fuel or shore power, AC electricity. So what's really neat about it is, let's say you're out camping, you can run the thing on diesel and it'll burn the fuel right out of your fuel tank. What it does is when the burner comes on, it heats up the boiler, and then the boiler pumps hot glycol through the motorhome and through heat registers. So you don't have any propane on this coach, or no propane requirements, because everything is done through the Aqua hot. Each zone in the motorhome has a fan behind each heat register. As that zone gets cooler and you want the heat to come on, the fan will come on automatically and blow hot air in that area. The other thing that it does is you will have continual hot water. The boiler also heats all of the hot water on the coach. And when I say continuous hot water, this isn't, something that works most of the time. This is continuous hot water as fast as you can use it. Another beautiful thing about this is that when you're driving down the road, you can switch a selector switch and the engine heat will now run through the boiler, and you can use the engine heat, or the engine glycol will circulate and heat the inside of the coach, so you're not running a furnace as you're driving down the road. But wait, there's even more. When you arrive at a destination, at a campground, and you plug in the shore power, the burner will now switch from diesel to AC electricity, so you're not using diesel fuel to heat the burner. I know I went on and on about that, and I hope I didn't confuse you. My goal was to really set the record straight on what hydronic heating is. Now we're going to continue our journey along the passenger side of this coach and show you the outside entertainment center. And this has become a very popular option in our Classic and in the XL line, and Renegade has now made it a standard, or has made it a standard feature on the Verona LE. So it's just something that really can take your RVing enjoyment to the next level. It's really nice to sit around the campfire and watch a football game, or to listen to some music. It just works out really nice. Here's a shot of the entry door, and as you can see, it has a keypad entry on it. It also has a remote control key fob to unlock not only the door but the storage compartments as well. Here we wanted to just show you what it looks like with the slide out, and when you see this thing from the inside, it's usually a real wow moment when you see how much room there is inside this motorhome. Here you can see we've run the lateral arm awning out. It has a LED lighted lead rail, so it puts LED lights out, so it's nice. Again, if you're out at a camp, you can have some lights out there shining down on your camp table. They've done a great job of mounting this thing on the roof so that you can get coverage over the top of the slide out as well. Now as we move over to the front of the motorhome, you'll notice this is a Cummins M2 106 chassis, and what 106 means is it's 106 inches from the back of the cab to the front bumper. I think this motorhome is right powered. Renegade's using the Cummins ISL 9 engine in this. It has 350 horsepower and 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. They backed it up with a Allison 3200 series automatic transmission. This thing, I used to own a Renegade Verona, and there was very few places or times when I couldn't run as fast as the traffic was running. So I think it's right powered. I think from a economy standpoint of fuel mileage, we're hearing reports back from our customers. It kind of depends on how you drive it, but from 8 to 10 plus miles a gallon is a realistic number. One neat thing about the ISL 9 engine is, it's a wet sleeved engine. So this is it's an actual truck motor. This isn't, something you would find in a pickup. I believe this engine weighs right at 1,800 pounds. So it's definitely a competent power plant. It also has a 2-stage exhaust brake system on it, so you have high-low settings. This is an engine that you could expect to last at least 1 million miles. When people tell me they have a 10-year-old motorhome and it only has 20,000 miles on it, I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. I want you to get out and drive these things. When you have an engine that's designed to last 1 million miles, get in it and go. When I owned a Verona, me and my wife both felt It was one of the easiest driving motorhomes we'd ever been in our life. You know, we treated ours just like a pickup. We would take it to sporting events, we'd go shopping in it. You know, if we wanted to run over to the in-laws and stay the night, we could just park out in the driveway. It all just worked out really good for us. And I think when Renegade designed the Verona, they had a winner. And now that they have the Verona LE, I think they've just upped that bar even more. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you get a chance, stop by. We'd love to give you a test ride and just like to visit with you. You know, we get a little lonesome out here in Mountain Home. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and when we get visitors, we always appreciate it. So thanks again for your time.